You dress sexy, you get talked about. You dress modestly, you get talked about. One of his homeboys has smacked me on my butt.
Oh.
And he made his homeboy come and apologize to me. Just because a girl appears in a video doesn't mean that she's a hoe.
Hey guys, welcome back to 8 at the Table. We have a very, very special guest, someone you guys know very well. She is here with us, and we're going to talk about her journey, how she remained successful throughout the year, how being an eye candy, being lust after for all these years. Everybody, we want to introduce you guys to Liris.
Miss Liris Crosse. Hello.
Liris Crosse is with us in the building.
Thank you.
What's going on? Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.
I was so excited when I got the invite for this.
Really?
Yes, because I watch 8 at the Table. You know, some stuff I don't agree with, but some stuff I do. I think it's great to have balanced conversation.
I think so. And I think that we push for that, right? Because I'm not saying no one on the cast, like they don't get along, but everybody really stand on their own thing. Like Aaron is Aaron, Rico is Rico, Amanda is Amanda.
Rico very much is Rico.
Yeah, he is. And he stands on his belief system. So we wanted to do this as a one-on-one. Like I said, we've done it before as a one-on-one, and I think people get to see more, but definitely like to invite you back to sit with the cast.
That would be, sign me up. I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be. But before that, I wanted to get more of you. So you started as a model.
I did. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to my Be More peeps. When I was growing up, I always wanted to model. It was just in my blood. Literally, my sister said, you were 3 years old. And I remember I put this fan on the floor and she said, it started to blow your little dress up. And she said, you just posed and pouted. She said, it was like, it was innate in you. You knew what to do. And she was like, that was just 3 years old. So it was just something that I always loved, wanted to do. But growing up as a preacher's kid, yes, that's a game changer. Yeah. You know, they are like, model.
Not gonna happen.
Either not going to happen or, you know, you're fearful of what could happen because you've heard horror stories. Also, it's just like, well, what is she going to model? And then she would have to leave Baltimore. And I grew up in a household that was, especially my dad's side, the Caribbean side, it's you go to college, you get your degree.
Yes.
So modeling was like, what?
It was not even something they thought about. But what grabbed you to it? I know when you were young, but later on, as you gotten older, were you watching videos? Like, what made you say, man, I could do that. I have the look for that. I have everything that they have, probably better. At what point were you like, yo, I could do this?
I will say, growing up, I watched models like Naomi Campbell, shout out to her, Linda Evangelista, Christy Turlington, Amber Valletta, some of the Tyra Banks. Okay, she's like definitely one of the people I look up to. Her and Naomi, definitely my favorites.
Okay.
One, because Tyra took modeling and became a mogul, and Naomi because she is the ultimate supermodel and she is still doing it. So right now, you know, she's still doing shows. She's still on the cover of magazines. And to see a lot of the models from her generation, like Linda and Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, to see them on the covers and getting campaigns, all that does is give me more ammunition to be like, oh no, I'm gonna keep going. Because if they're working at this age and they good in season and they still look good, Liris is gonna still work.
That sounds like you had more of a long-term thinking from the door. Thought about it long-term.
But I'm gonna say, back then, things were different than they are now.
Okay.
And that's because we've definitely evolved as a society as far as what is beautiful, what we accept. The reason why I was all enrolled to start college, and I told my dad, I said, I know I'm about to start my first year of college. I said, but something is telling me to move to New York to pursue my modeling dreams. I said, because what if I graduate and I'm 21 and they say like, wow, she's too old.
Yeah, they might not want you.
Right. That was the thinking for that time. Now You totally wouldn't think that because you see models of different ages and sizes and sexual orientation, gender.
Yeah, everything is different, but the game is kind of like the same in a sense, right? It's
To a certain degree.
vicious business.
Oh, it's still vicious.
It's a vicious business.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely think it expanded by being more open-minded and seeing things from different angles, but the business seems to still be vicious. It's still a tough business to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
What was it like for you when you left Baltimore and you got to New York? What was it like when you started? Because I seen you in that hands up video, and I know you've been in a lot of videos, and I remember just everybody just talking about you. You know, everybody just talking, and you're getting all these jobs. You're moving around in a circle full of rappers, full of casting directors, casting agents, just a male-dominated business.
Oh, absolutely.
Very male-dominated.
Super patriarchal.
A young, beautiful woman, very beautiful, walking into the space. What was it like?
It was
Real, like what was it like? Like you,
Okay.
it's like you got off the porch and you walked into the game.
Beautifully scary. I'll say that because Baltimore built a certain level of toughness and resilience within me. And also having a father my father was an entrepreneur before I knew what an entrepreneur was.
Okay.
So seeing him go through the different highs and lows of that, as well as growing up in Baltimore, it creates a certain level of determination and resilience. I also had a certain level of confidence when I came to New York. That confidence still rolls with me this day. In some ways, I knew the odds were against me because of my size, because of my blackness. But
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Okay.
I'm a size 14, summertime 12, 14, whatever. Just
Curvy.
But I reign supreme in the plus size market. And the plus size market is anything above a size 6.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
Now they call it the in-betweenies or curve. I would fall more in the like curve plus side because they kind of say size 8, 10, 12. It's kind of like 12, 14 is the curve part. And then some people say it transitions more into calling it plus from 14 and up.
Okay.
But that's the division I was signed to when I got with my first agency in New York.
Did you get with your first agency before doing your first video?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you got with the agency first.
Yes, I have always been.
Can you explain that? Like people maybe do it in different steps today, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll post on IG and they'll say I'm an IG model, and then somebody be like, oh, word, who are you signed with? And they'll be like, I'm not signed with anybody.
I'm signing myself.
Yeah, but you know, I guess at a different time, calling yourself a model meant you were signed with someone.
Yes. That is the difference between today and back then. Although you've always had models who were freelance, but you were more respected, accepted, and you got the opportunity to do bigger gigs if you were signed to an agency. So my first agency I was signed to was Wilhelmina, which was one of the top agencies in the country. Yeah. Right. And that happened because I went to a models convention. You go and you show your picture, you do your runway walk. And this is like all the top agencies in the country. I got callbacks from Zoli, Elite Models. A lot of people know about Elite. Yeah, 17 magazine, and an agency that was in my area of Baltimore called Nova. They all loved me, said I was beautiful, but they wanted me to lose weight. So, and imagine I'm in high school. I run track. I play basketball. I do cheerleading.
Like, this is my body.
Yeah. Like if I show you a picture right now, you'd be like, what? You were not plus size. I'm like, but this is what
they consider.
Plus what? Right.
Or we'll show a picture.
Yes, I'll give you a picture to show. But it was crazy. I tried to lose weight. I went back to the convention. The first convention I went to was my junior year. My senior year, I went back to the convention. I only got one callback.
Really?
And that was from the agency in my area. So I could have given up, but that summer I just worked my butt off. I saved money. I worked 2 jobs. I worked at a Bennigan's and I worked at the mall saying, do you want to try the new Chanel perfume?
Okay.
I was a perfume model. I don't know. Something said, move to New York. Yeah, something said, I said, I got to move to New York and get to this. I said, even if I go there and just do commercial modeling, which is more like Captain Crunch, Tide, you know, like your basic product.
So now you're at Wilhelmina.
Yes.
You're in New York. Hip hop is crazy at that time.
Hip hop is crazy.
Video vixens. I don't think people understand the contribution that the video vixens did and have
thank you for saying
given
that.
to hip hop.
Thank you you for saying that.
It's like hand in hand. It made or broke your video.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't right, we was just like, man, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. The car's all right. Song's all right. You don't
The
got
jewelry's all right.
So you were in that video, Throw Your Hands Up, Beanie Siegel, Jay, and you walked through
2 a.m. on my way to the club. Yes.
And
Jay-Z, Do It Again.
Do It Again. And
Yeah.
that was a showstopper.
Yes.
That was a showstopper.
Thank
and
you.
that makes the video. Even if you watch in the beginning of the video, you're like, all right, throw your hands up. All right. You still like in that time.
I stomped through in that gold dress, baby.
It was crazy. It was beautiful.
Thank
What happened after that video? You did that video.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sure.
I mean, I got called to, I did videos for quite a few years. That was definitely one of my biggest videos. Also, Beanie Man's Who Am I? Simma, who got the keys to my Beamer? Yep. I had a short haircut at that time.
Okay.
So that was my first real lead.
Like lead.
Yes.
Okay.
But
what is it like to be in a lead for a video?
you feel just as important as the artist.
And I think and people are gonna say, yo, he's just all geeky because she's here. But nah, but you are
we really,
just as important as the artist.
I mean, and the pay was real cute at that time too.
Yeah, budgets was crazy.
Yes, I mean they were doing $1 million videos.
Yeah, budgets were
so
crazy.
How could you not give the lead girl a couple thousand?
Check, yeah.
You know, I remember I did that one. I did Lloyd Banks on Fire.
Okay.
I did Get It Poppin'. I've done so many videos that I can't even remember them all.
So when you get on set, what is, now you're on set, you bad, everybody's looking at you, or guys acting up. I'm not pushing you to say it, but I'm just saying.
Truthfully, a lot of the guys were pretty respectful. I'm going to say the artists were pretty respectful. The issue is always, guess who? There you go.
They're bigger than the artists.
They really think that they are bigger than the artists, and they're not. It's issues like that just, it's like, why? But I remember one time I was doing a music video for Raekwon. I was walking through the video. One of his homeboys had smacked me on my butt.
Oh.
And I remember I turned around and I like pushed him and I was like going off. And thank God for artists like Raekwon who respect women, because he came back and was like, yo, you can't be touching on Liris. Like, yo, you bugging, man. And he made his homeboy come and apologize to me.
That's respectful.
And I really appreciated that, because unfortunately, some of them didn't see us for what we brought to the table. Like how you said, they just saw us as a piece of meat or a video hoe, not a video vixen. And there's a difference. And I also think it's kind of crazy how when white models,
completely different look,
or
completely
Latina models did music videos, it's their models or their video vixens. We do a video just because we're black. Why is it that some of our own men are calling us video hoes?
Yeah. I just want to put this in context. I want people to understand how powerful black executives, and I know black executives are still powerful now, but these black executives were making all the calls, calling all the shots. It was their decision. How the video went, people like any big director at that time, they had all autonomy to make decisions. A lot of that power was in their hands. They controlled the set. So if women were looked at as video hoes, or if it was put out, it was really men's responsibility in the industry to check that. And a lot of it went unchecked.
Beyond the industry, though, why are our own men calling us this when you don't know who I slept with? You don't know what I've been up to. That's an assumption. Just because a girl appears in a video doesn't mean that she's a hoe or that she slept with the artist. We actually, me and some of the vixens, if you go to Video Vixen Collective on Instagram, we did a reel, and shout out to Nicole Rica. She said, I'm an OG video vixen. Of course they think I slept with all the artists whose videos I appeared in.
Well,
and it's like,
they did put that in our head.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we didn't. It was a job for us. We literally did our job, and left. Now, that's not to say that some women may have slept with artists.
Not some.
And it's not to say that some people may have met on set and started to date, but that's because you usually date who you're in proximity to.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is my opinion, I think that whole industry was so mixed. It it was hard to tell who signed the Wilhelmina and who's just there for the ride. And people that's there for the ride, they didn't put no work in. You know, so they were just like on set, hanging out, and they just wanted to be in the shot. In comparison to the women who came in there, that's their career. That's their job. This is what they want to do as a living. You know, and I think that the confusion started happening. Like, if I see a video vixen in a video, I'm thinking, oh yeah, she's cool, she got a nice body, you know, blah blah blah. And opposed to, no, this is a woman who is building her career from videos to movies to this. It's just different steps in the same career. And we never looked at it like that.
Yes.
As young guys, we just wanted to see y'all in the videos.
Yeah. It's like, do you call this person just because she's a chef and she's cooked for celebrities? Is she a celebrity chef hoe? Just because she black? No. Like, she just happens to cook for celebrities. It doesn't mean that she's automatically sleeping with her celebrity clients.
True.
We have to give a certain level of respect and grace, I think, to Black women. We already go through so much just showing up. And it's like, you're damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You dress modestly, you get talked about. You dress sexy, you get talked about. It's like, give us some grace.
You moved on to reality TV also at some point.
Well, I appeared on Project Runway. Okay. I became the first Plus model to win the model portion of Project Runway. That was on season 16. I also returned this very last season for season 20. Okay. And I mean, for me, after transitioning, even during that time, during my Vixen time, I was doing layouts and shoots for Essence magazine.
Yes. Okay.
And I became the first Plus model to shoot the swimsuit issue for Essence. That was a big deal. I think before the year before, I think it was Tyra Banks.
Wow.
Yeah. So
good luck.
So to be able to open doors like that, I walked in the first big plus size lingerie show that was put on by Lane Bryant. And it's amazing for me to even reflect, because I literally go from job to job to job. And I literally said this the other day, I sometimes forget about all the doors that I've helped to open. True. All the jobs that I've done. Okay. Like, sometimes somebody will tag me on something on Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that shoot.
That was
amazing. Yes.
How did you not get caught up? Like, you know, how do you think like a lot of vixens during that time and models during that time, between a male-driven industry, a lot of money, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, and just a lot of partying. How did you get yourself through that?
Well, I'm glad you said through that, because I can't say that I totally missed it. Okay. For me, I did party. I did enjoy some marijuana and maybe some other things at times. You know, I was enjoying being a 20-something-year-old, you know? So, like, duh, of course I'm going to have a little fun. But I think the thing that was the stabilizer for me was truthfully being a preacher's kid. And the things that my parents instilled in me as far as my morals and my values, you know, those things start to chin check you when you have a hangover. Yeah. And you're like, okay, what am I doing? You doing the most, Liris.
You felt like
pull it together.
And you caught yourself.
Yeah, I caught myself.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, you can't be partying every night. Yeah.
And
it's not bad for you to party. Yeah.
There was a party every night.
And I mean big industry
parties. And the parties were popping.
You go to one night, it will be Nas's album release. Yep. You go another night, it could be Jessica Rosenblum doing some party at some club. You know what I mean?
And then
you
go another night, it's another party.
It's the Rockefeller. They're doing another party. You know,
and everybody's trying to outdo each other, and the parties were crazy. It were fun. Everybody wasn't standing in a section. People were dancing. People were drinking.
Ooh. Did you go to any of it's crazy to even say it now, any of Puff's birthday parties back then?
No. I missed that. I missed it.
Puff's birthday parties, I mean, at Cipriani, it's crazy. That's why I tell people now, I'm like, I'm so kind of like about stuff now. I'm like, because I've gone to some of the best parties. I've gone to the big parties in the Hamptons when Aaliyah was there.
Yeah.
You know, Dame Dash, everybody. So
And it was just such a movie.
movie,
Such a movie. Like
movie.
these things were movies. And I always I think to myself, right? Like the
People
next,
actually danced.
yeah, and had fun.
Yes.
And had fun and popped champagne and the women were just beautiful and everybody wanted to hang out. Everybody was just in a good vibe. If you didn't want to be in a good vibe, you went to the tunnel. And you just you in the tunnel on your grimy mode or grimy mood.
I had fun in the tunnel though.
Yeah, the tunnel
I had a fake ID when I first slipped into the tunnel too.
But the tunnel was there for that, right? It was Timberland boots, people just coming in there.
Yes.
That energy. Then you had Joe Jackson, I remember he had moved over to the Kit Kat Club.
Oh my gosh, Joe Jackson, you're taking it back. Oh my gosh, he used to have great parties, y'all.
Joe Jackson was killing it with the Kit Kat, Cheetahs.
Yes.
All of these parties were like, first, one of the things that was different, and I noticed the difference between today and then, in front of the club was like a car show.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like one car. It was 3 blocks of just whatever the latest and greatest cars were. And it was just like a car show and people were having a good time.
Yes.
So, I say that a lot of times people are like, well, my generation, I'm like, bro, I promise you. No disrespect.
What a time to be alive.
What a time. If you were there and you had a good time, big shout outs to you. Who try to date you more, athletes or rappers?
I'm going to say athletes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's because of my height, because I'm 5'11", and I got body yaddy yaddy. So I think that was more the reason why. Because, a lot of them rappers were short.
Definitely not 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, no. Now, I mean, like, tall rappers would be like Jay, Busta Rhymes, Ghostface Killer. Yeah. Like, they were tall, but then you had, like, Lil Zane or, like, Ja Rule. You have different rappers who were shorter. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Or like average height would be like, I guess 50 would be like average height.
6 feet.
Yeah, I think he's probably like 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever get into a serious relationship? I see you trying to be real quiet right now. Come on, this is a relationship show.
I've dated a couple rappers here and there.
Okay. What was it like?
I'm definitely not saying names. Y'all gonna have to wait for the book for that.
Okay.
The book or the documentary.
Is it competitive dating a rapper?
I would say you always know that they're always meeting somebody else. Yeah. Or that there are other women who are just as beautiful. So it's not necessarily competitive. It's just you're trying to I felt like back then you were trying to figure out how to keep that person's attention on you. So maybe that feels like competitive, but you wanted their attention.
Yeah, but they traveled a lot. They were gone a lot. Mm-hmm. So what's that dynamic like? Because I
guess now I'm the rapper. I'm the one who travels a lot.
You say you travel a lot.
I do. I mean, before the pandemic, I was probably on a plane every other week.
You love travel.
For work. Oh, I love travel.
Are you in a relationship right now?
I'm not. I'm single and ready to mingle. Hi, men. How are you?
So do you travel with your girls or your friends?
No, I'm usually traveling by myself. I mean, for work, yes. For work, yes. But if I'm traveling to other places, it's probably like a girl's trip. Yeah.
Okay. No, you travel for work a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
But do you travel just by yourself? Like I'm going to go to Spain and hang out by myself?
I've gone to places by myself. Yeah.
What's that like? Like, why?
It's great.
I'm sure you got dudes in your DM. You got people checking.
Some here and there, but, it's still about finding the right one. The right one that you have a connection with. I think a lot of times people see you as a model and they want to date the persona. Model. Yeah, the persona of you. But that is not who Liris fully is.
So who is Liris fully?
Liris is very thoughtful.
Okay.
Very loving, God-fearing, silly, funny, childlike spirit. I'm a Libra, so I'm a lover. Like I love love. I'm very into like romance and simple things. One guy I dated, one of the sweetest things he did was there was this one place that I said I loved. He went and got my favorite tuna sandwich, this tuna melt sandwich, and came back with it like a big bouquet of roses.
I
And
thought that was sweet.
I thought it was thoughtful because that meant he was listening.
Okay, but did it do something for you? Did you think
Yes, I loved it. Like it's not about the over the top big things. It's the things that show me that you're listening and that you're taking me in and that you thought of me.
Okay.
That's what's important to me. My love language is quality time. So I think any woman would prefer like a purse or something like that. But I would prefer you laying out a picnic in the park.
Over a Birkin?
Over a Birkin.
Word?
Yeah. And maybe I'm different that way, and that's okay. Like even for myself, I don't buy a bunch of name brand heavy
Things that
stuff.
you don't need.
Yeah. It's nice. Do I have a few pieces? Yeah, I got a few pieces, but I'm not a person who's pressed about it. I would rather use my stuff on taking a nice trip and going somewhere, having an experience.
Women are good. Like when it's your money, y'all don't want to buy the crazy stuff.
Even if
it's his money.
Even if it's his money, I am more impressed with an experience rather than a material thing.
Okay.
Because my love language is
quality time.
So when you show me attention and care and consideration and time, you carve out time for me.
You're a model, really entrepreneur also, right?
Yes.
Model, entrepreneur.
Yes.
Who like it's not easy dealing with an entrepreneur woman. I know it sounds good. Like, my girl, she's busy. She got stuff to do.
She is.
And then there's attention. Men don't like to say that. Men are selfish with attention.
True, but the most attention that I want is from the person that I'm dating.
No, not getting attention.
No. Okay, you mean the attention that she brings.
Right?
Huh?
So he wants attention from you, right?
Oh no, my man getting the attention. Like that's the last thing he got to worry about.
Okay, talk about that.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm like I said, I'm a very I love love. I'm a big romantic at heart. So the last thing he has to worry about is him getting some attention. Like you're the first person I'm probably thinking of outside of God when I wake up.
Over your career?
My career, I'm always
over your career. Now let's just say you're locking down. Come on, let's talk. You're locking down a campaign with Target, but now you have, let's just say Walmart pulls up and offer you a better deal. You're in the middle of that. You're trying to figure out which move to make. It's really complicated in a sense because you don't know which one's gonna go further. They're both good money.
Okay.
And he's in the mix. He's like, baby, I want to go to dinner. Baby, I want to do that. You're like, yo, I'm dealing with some shit right now. Because are you putting him first? Or are you trying to figure out the deal that you're gonna make?
Well,
let's keep it a buck. Because your career is right here.
I understand.
And then he's right here.
I understand that, but this is also why I have amazing managers and agents. So I can still say, okay, babe, you know what? You're right. Let's go enjoy our dinner. And then I will get back to this after we get back to the crib. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is why I have agents and managers so they can figure out all the other stuff and I can kind of focus on just showing up and being my best me.
I don't know. I think I do believe that.
And I can talk it out with my spouse as well.
Talking it out, yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I'm a person who likes to
talking
bounce
it out
off.
Definitely. I like the talking it out because I always feel like we can't really I know a lot of people say you can have both, but it's very hard. Like there's a lot of times that your business is gonna make your relationship take a back seat. And the minute that your relationship starts making your business take a back seat, you're gonna have a hard time with your business because it's I know it's interchangeable, but it all depends. Like if you're a businesswoman, you're a business person, so you're in charge of your business.
True, but I'm also going to.
How often would your relationship make your business take the back seat?
I think you try to find the healthy balance that works for you and your partner.
Okay.
Like you're an entrepreneur and you got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm sure you try to find the best balance for you and your love life.
It doesn't balance.
Well, that's because you haven't made a choice to really focus and give it that type of energy. That's what I would think. For me, I'm always going to make room for love.
Okay.
That's just how I am. It's how I'm wired. I've seen great love. I've experienced great love. I know what it feels like. I love being loved. I love loving on people.
Sounds fun just hearing you say it.
But I'm for real. Like, I love loving on other people. So I'm going to figure out the right thing so I can find that balance. It's like, okay, I'm shooting for 3 days in Utah for a client.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, babe, let's FaceTime. We could do a FaceTime date. We both order some food and talk, spend some quality time with each other for an hour and a half. Okay. All right. I'm going night.
Can we go with this?
Yes.
Is it okay with you?
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's just say you're like, okay, you're in Houston?
Utah.
You're in Utah. You're filming.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Marketing director of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Let's go to dinner. Mm-hmm. I want to introduce, because we want to do more stuff.
Okay.
So you have to cancel that dinner date with your guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Or do you say, no, I'm not going to dinner with you guys? That's all I'm asking. Or you say to the campaign people, no, I can't go to dinner with you guys because I already have prior engagement. That's what I'm asking.
I think I would reach out to him.
Mm-hmm. And he ordered his food.
No. If you're putting it that way, like he's already ordered his food, then no, I'm going to stay in with Bae. I'm going to stay in with Bae. I'm already working with them. They already like me.
Well, they want to introduce you to more
So me
people.
going out to dinner is, how much more is it really going to change it if they are already considering me for the job?
Well, you're a very, very smart woman. You know the answer to that, how much more it changes everything.
I do, but my thing is, you changed the question and said he's already ordered the food.
I'll do that in there. Let's remove that.
Right. Okay. If he hadn't ordered the food yet, I would probably call him and say, hey, babe, I have this opportunity to go out and have dinner with these people who are considering me for this other big campaign. I really want to network with them. I know we're supposed to do dinner tonight, but can we rain check this? My thing is, my man should want the best for me, that he's like, okay, babe, go ahead and handle that. Call me when you get back to your hotel room. Or, you know what? It's cool. We'll make up for this you get back Saturday. We'll make up for it on Sunday and spend the whole day together.
And I'm agreeing with you, by the way, but I'm just trying to say that sometimes relationships have to take a back seat, and someone has to understand that.
That's everybody. That doesn't matter
who you're dealing with.
It doesn't matter if you could be a lawyer. And guess what?
That's probably even worse.
Hello?
That's even worse.
But I'm just showing you that it happens in all these different occupations where people are constantly trying to find the work-love balance. And you do what works best for the relationship. If it starts to build and you try to fix it, but let's say it still isn't working for you two, then you part ways. But my thing is, are you actively trying to find the balance? Are you actively trying to fix it? And do you have a partner who is understanding of who you are and what you do? Whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a doctor, whether you are a serial entrepreneur, whether you're an actress, whether you're a model, whether you're a cashier, whether you're a maitre d', whatever it is. Does that person understand you and your dreams and what you're going for? Because if you really understand my dreams and you really love me, you're going to be rooting for me, and you're going to have a certain level of grace and understanding when certain situations come up.
What if the guy's dream, his only dream is to be with you, right?
I would hope he has more dreams than just to be with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I would hope he has different dreams for his business, dreams for his family.
Person. He has a great job at Goldman Sachs. He doesn't have big dreams.
If he has a great job at Goldman Sachs, he has certain goals he wants to reach. He may have a different position he wants to get to. He has different clients he may want to bring into the fold. He's going to have other things.
You know how you said you have no interest in going into the clubs because you've done it so many times. So you would assume, let's say he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not interested in that. He's coasting.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, he's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just wants to chill.
Mm-hmm.
So does he still needs ambition and dreams? I'm just gonna ask you these questions. You just gotta tell me.
He
I'm gonna
doesn't
push a little bit more.
Well,
You
he
just let me
doesn't
know.
necessarily have to have. If he's coasting at that occupation,
He's 50. He's
and
doing
he's
very
good.
well. I don't know if 50 is too, but let's just say he's
Guess
45.
what? He still may have other dreams that he wants to do as a person for himself.
Okay.
And I would hope that my partner is a dreamer. I would hope that he, even if he is great in his job, he has other things and challenges that he wants to tackle within his life.
Okay.
A lot of times, and I learned this from being around a lot of older people, senior citizens, a lot of times when they lose a dream, a hobby, a gifting, a inspiration, they die.
Really?
They're done. Most people, I'm not going to say most because I don't want to give a false statistic, but a lot of people, when they don't have something to do after they've retired, they slip into different diseases, disorders, issues, because they don't have something that's making them get up. You could be a postman and you retired. If it's not, I like to go to the baseball games and I like to collect stamps,
I like to
fishing,
do
something. You have to have something else that drives you to get up and enjoy life. Because a lot of times after that, they clock out.
Yeah, they ready. I'm out. I did my.
So
I did
my
bid.
person is going to be a dreamer. He's gonna have other things that he's going to be into, whether it's personally or professionally.
Do you think that we've become so shallow that no one respects connection? Like people with true connection, like, and I mean reasonable age gap, right? When I say reasonable, I think that
what's reasonable,
depending on year, right? Let's start over 21.
Okay.
If you're 21 as a man or a woman, I think you could go well into late 30s, early 40s. If you're 30,
so you're fine with Drea. Got it.
Yeah, I think it's fine, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. But
because she has a son,
not because she has a son, not because she has a kid. I think that a lot of times people date older for a security outside of money. There's a security that you need, a safety that you need, that somebody could make you feel. Like I would imagine if I'm 19 or if I'm 21 and I'm dating a woman who's 45 years old, I'm dating her because I need like the safety that she provides for me, the security that she provides for me. I cannot find that. I cannot find that somewhere else. And I'm more ready to build. I'm more ready to have my life a certain way.
I like that.
But it's a big gap, and I think the flip side of it is that when a man dates a younger woman, women do value financial security. It is important to women more than men, right? So she feels secure. She's like, yo, I don't want to wake up every day having to worry about shit. And this guy's still attractive. He takes care of himself. He's 10, 15, 20 years older than me, but I'm good. I'm okay. And I think as soon as you hear the person says, I'm good, I'm okay, that's when all the stuff comes in.
Absolutely.
You lying. How? This, that. So it's just like, it's a lot, right? So if you're 30, this is my opinion. After 30, you could go up to 30 years.
Okay.
After 30, man or woman, if you're 30 and you're dating a 55-year-old, whether you a man or woman, like really, like who's saying anything to you?
Live your best life.
Like you're 30. Like,
look, I feel like 7 billion people in the world. Do you think we're all going to date somebody who's in close proximity to our age? Because there's 7 billion people in the world, we're all not going to live the same cookie cutter life. Some people are going to marry somebody that's close in age. Some people are going to have, the woman is going to be older. The man is going to be older. It's going to be all types of mixes. Some people going to be black love. Some people are going to be interracial. There's no perfect couple. And I think we as a society really need to get used to understanding that everybody's love story is going to be different. Whether they're a gay couple, whether they're trans, whatever, age gap, whatever. We have to allow people to love who they're going to love. As long as you aren't breaking any laws, allow people to love who they're going to love.
But they still criticize. Like one of the things that I love doing in this show, and I say this, and is that if I ask someone to close their eyes and say there's a man who cheated on his wife, or there's a woman who cheated their husband, what color are they? You don't know. Because that's emotions. I could tell you what height, what this, what that. You will never know, right? Or even if I say a man cheated on a person, a woman cheated on a person, you still won't know. Because when it comes to relationships, there are no colors, there are no genders. It's just people, like you said, they're gonna love who they're gonna love. But at the same time, people want to box you in.
Yeah.
That boxing is real.
The boxing is real, but I think that is one of the beautiful things about the maturation of our society now.
Yes.
We're starting to break out of these boxes and realizing it doesn't have to be one way. Just like we have like some of the podcast bros who feel like, oh, you're in the danger zone, you got to get married. Okay, but everybody doesn't want to be married.
Do you want to be married?
I do. I think it would be great to be married. But guess what? Even if I don't get married, if I experience great love, I still won.
Okay, I agree with that.
I've already still won. Like, no shade, but I know some people in some unhappy marriages.
Miserable.
And who have never experienced the level of romance and love that I've experienced. So you could say, oh, you should be married. Yeah. It's not to say that I don't want to get married, but I also would rather be married for a lifetime to the right person and not just anybody. And I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to still experience great love, whether I've been married or not.
Do you think that's like, if we're in this new frontier where we're saying age gap, it's probably going to be something of the past, right? So we're going to come to a space in the future or in the near future where an older woman or older guy is going to walk in with somebody younger and everybody's going to be like, that's not even taboo. That's not a big thing. Do you think we will ever get to a place where when a woman is like, I've never been married, it's not going to be taboo? It's like, oh, okay, she doesn't want to be married.
I think we will eventually get to that space. I don't know if that will be in the next decade or so, but I do feel eventually we will get to that place. We just gotta look, everybody is not designed to have the same life, and everybody doesn't have the same wants, needs, and desires. And we need to understand that. And we also shouldn't be trying to force people into situations. You got to get married. You got to get married. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a Reese Tisa.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, so for real.
But she was pressed. She was thirsty.
But guess what? When you put over a woman, you're in the danger zone, you got to get married by this time, you need a man, you will miss certain red flags because you're so focused on the end goal of, I got to get married, or I got to have some kids, I got to be with somebody because this is what everybody's saying. Why aren't you married? Why aren't you this?
But you also have that same pressure on men, right? And we said this on here.
No, absolutely
same
not.
Pressure.
You
I'm going to tell you.
have the same pressure about having kids.
I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you
married.
the pressure. And we said this on the show. When you young and you know, these young boys, they do anything to get money because they've been told since young, you're nobody if you don't got no bread. If you don't have no paper, no woman's gonna want you.
They maybe said that about money, but not about marriage and kids.
But it's kind of like the same thing. Who else you see except young men risking their life to get money? Risking their life. And on here, we put the stat out. We explain to everybody the average age of a millionaire, man or woman. This is a fact. This is not a number that's, out of thin air. The average age of a millionaire is 57 years old.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
7 years old. So you got these 21-year-olds, these 22-year-olds who are risking everything so they can look like, yo, yeah, I got my place. Yeah, I got a car. Yeah, I can take care of you. Or if he don't have it, what do women call him? He'll scrub. He's not standing on nothing. He's not about nothing. Don't let him be 29. 29? You don't got it all together by 29. She's like, yo, you a bum. She's going to say literally that word.
But see, I'm glad that I don't necessarily believe that because I didn't come up. Like right now, I feel like the young people are living in a microwave society.
Very.
Where they expect things to happen instantly.
And it doesn't.
And I've even told some of the young people that I speak to, like, you have to understand, you don't have to be at this mark just because you saw this person on Instagram saying like, I'm 23 years old and I'm already a millionaire. I was like, one, they could be lying.
Probably online.
Trying to sell you a program. 2,
ebook.
exactly. 2, they could be 1 in a million if it is really true, right?
The exception.
They could be the exception to the rule. So even though you may want to be the exception to the rule, that may not be your journey. You may become a millionaire at 35.
And that's okay.
35.
And that's okay.
And that is okay.
And that's all we try to tell people. Like, it's okay to go through the process, but the pressure, it's like you said, it's society's pressure.
Yes.
If you're a woman, you're 35, you're a leftover woman, you're not married, you're not this, and you're human at the end of the day, you're gonna feel it.
Yes.
You know, and I know, like, probably there's these young guys probably right now, they about to turn 30. Dudes probably like, yo, what am I doing? I gotta do something. And they're starting to go.
But this goes back to really you choosing yourself and knowing who you are and what you want out of life, and being like, okay, like, even I, being someone who is a public figure, sometimes I can hear certain things and I have to say, okay, wait a minute, this is what society's saying, but what is Liris saying? What does Liris know to be true?
You compare it.
What does Liris know to be true? What does Liris want for herself? Okay, that's an exception to the rule. Okay, this is my life and my journey. But that was theirs. That's not mine. I have a different life, and I have to accept that that's okay and it's different.
So thank you so much. This was really good. We're definitely going to have Liris back with the cast, with everybody. But before we leave, can you just let us know what you got going on, where they can find you, and a whole bunch of information?
Well, please follow me on Instagram at Liris, Lirisc, as well as find me on Facebook. Probably add I have a regular page and a backup page, so follow me on those. I am working on a docu-series that I'm not going to give you the subject, but it did come up in the discussion today. So you will find out more about it at the right time if you start following me on Instagram. I also have a book. It's called Make the World Your Runway, Top Model Secrets for Everyday Confidence and Success. I take stories from my modeling life and I expound upon them the way that a life coach does. And it literally gives you the handbook, the playbook, for you to really step out confidently on the runway of life so you can live your best life, be your best self, go get that new job, go get that new man, go get that new woman, move to that new city. You got to get the book. It's available on Amazon. You can click the link in my Instagram bio.
Okay. Would you ever consider opening up your own agency, modeling agency?
I would in due time. I'm thinking
You're
of
too busy
actually,
now.
I am a bit too busy right now, but I'm actually thinking of doing some mother agenting for some models, which means when I find certain models who I feel are really awesome, basically trying to coach them and get them ready so I can present them to agencies. Because a lot of the agencies now, you got to be already up and running.
No development.
They don't have the time to do the development. Ooh. So, but the day-to-day trying to find you bookings, I don't think I have the time for that right now. But as far as developing, I definitely have a great eye and would love to do that. My business, Life of a Working Model Bootcamp. Follow us at Life of a Working Model on Instagram. We this summer plan to have a model boot camp. We had shut those things down in person since the pandemic, but we back, baby.
Thank you so much. So guys, like, subscribe. You guys know you got an early release on Patreon, so go to Patreon. Big shout out. Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
Thank you.
You see, your name is pronounced Liris.
Liris. So I always say here like Lear. I mean, Lear like here, or like Lear like a Lear jet, and wrist like the wrist on your arm, but no T. So Liris, but not Liris, but Liris.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.